talking in ancient English now.
Yeah.
Shakespeare would be proud.
Ye old streameth beginneth.
Beginneth. The streameth.
That doesn't sound legit.
Just be glad I'm not speaking Glaswegian, you'd all be lost.
I'm already lost. I was lost before I began.
That's true.
That's the life of the moonpoons.
For
I
me.
told him there's no way Panos will drop in this call unless we give him the link.
I was still shocked that like I was definitely expecting to walk into an empty room.
I mean, Deb, we're here and you were just like, gee though.
We're on top of stuff. No, I had literally just gotten my coffee and my chocolate chips to munch on.
Chocolate chips? Like just the chips?
Mm-hmm.
That's a baller
Just the
move.
tips.
Oh, nice. You know
I
what's
got my drinky drink.
okay?
Pictures. So I'm sorted.
Fancy rosé in a can. The most disappointing thing I ever did when I was trying to be a fat boy was like eating the like peanut butter nibs that they have, like the peanut butter chocolate chips. Those don't taste good at all. Like they don't taste like delicious peanut butter. They just taste kind of like chalky, vaguely peanut butter.
Chocolate chips
like-
are not supposed to be super, super chocolatey. They're
Yeah.
like, that's why
It's
they're
upsetting.
super sweet.
They're meant to be in cookies and then they're good. Otherwise, it's like me.
But
You
don't
were
they know
trying to
that?
be a fat boy?
Yeah, when you're like being super like, you know, carnivorous, like you're just gonna devour whatever's in front, you know, it's like it's that mood you're in when you go into the fridge, you see a bag of mozzarella cheese and you're just like, I'm just gonna eat this plain straight up. And like you're looking around in the cabinets and you see the little peanut butter nibs and I'm like, well, that's probably delicious. And I take like a handful and chuck it in and then it's like, no, that just kind of tasted generically like chalky food, not so much like peanut butter stuff. It's very upsetting.
Panos doesn't know what it's like to have a fridge full of food.
Yeah, I do not.
Why? What does that mean?
When he
never-
goes to the store, he gets just the bare minimum of what he needs, and then if he wants a snack or something, he'll like go out to the convenience store.
Just a fridge full of Lunchables or something? That would be sick.
The
Salad.
fridge full of
Chicken,
nothing.
salad,
Yeah,
cheese,
but it's
These all sound
a
like
lot of
great
feta
things.
cheese.
Yeah, but like bits
Cucumbers,
of meals and not full
tomatoes.
meals. Oh, cucumbers. Ugh.
I'm glad you brought up
cucumbers.
feta cheese. What's everyone's opinion on feta cheese? Because I've never been a fan, and
I love it.
Guys, be careful. Key Lime already got a strike. Strike one.
What?
Be careful what you guys says next.
say about the feta
Oh,
cheese.
because he doesn't like feta.
I
You
love
said that to
feta
a Greek
cheese.
person? Come on.
It's just like, what is the deal? It doesn't taste like, it's kind of like crumbly, but not crumbly.
It's crumbly and sort of like almost vinegary, but also kind of has a sweet nutty taste to it as well. It's great in
Yes.
salads.
There's no excuse, Key Lime. There's no excuse.
Sorry, key lime, you're deleted.
It's
That's
the
it.
only cheese that I can't like
Cancel.
sit there and just devour. Like every other cheese,
Ow.
I can just like be like, oh, raw, raw. But
I'm lactose intolerant, and I'll still eat feta
Unsubscribe.
cheese.
Unsubscribed.
Unsubscribed.
Just
This is done.
I'm like feta
Done
cheese,
forever.
mozzarella, feta cheese.
so you're going. So like, what is top tier cheese in everyone's opinion here? Like, what is the cheese that's the go-to?
I mean, if I had no other cheese to pick from, probably Red Leicester from the UK. It's
Is
got
that-
like a, it's like almost a cheddar, but not quite a cheddar.
Okay.
It's got a sort of nutty taste to it.
Yeah, it's
great
in like
mac
that
and cheese.
that Gouda cheddar type family of cheeses
Yeah.
kind of thing.
If that was the only cheese, if I could only eat one cheese, it would be Red Leicester.
All right, Panos, what's the cheese? Is it feta? Is it? It's just
Feta
straight up
cheese.
feta.
Feta cheese. Feta cheese.
Deb, what's the cheese? What is the cheese?
We're talking about like just grabbing it and stuffing it in your mouth,
Y-
or
yeah, like-
It's the only cheese you can eat for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's
in
just
any
like-
situation.
This cheese,
mozzarella, probably.
mozzarella.
It's a good choice. It is a good choice. I can't disagree.
I'd probably be basic B and go with like a brie cheese, but like if I could do like some blue cheeses I really like, but I have to be in the mood for them kind of a thing. Roquefort is really good. I usually like the creamy, like super melty in your mouth kind of cheeses. So like I could do some brie cheese. I could find a way to turn
Brie's
those
nice.
into sandwiches and things like that.
That is nice.
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
I also like Wensleydale.
my goal
Mozzarella is nice as well.
Wensleydale's amazing.
my goal is to buy a thing of feta cheese and force myself to like it, just so Panos doesn't hate me for the rest of his life.
It's not a cheese you just eat. It's a cheese you
Yeah,
have
put it like on a
anything
salad or
in a wrap or
yeah.
in a even like a pasta bake, even like just a little
Yeah,
bit.
I've had
Yeah.
it with there's this noodle dish I used to get at this restaurant called Noodles, and it had feta in it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Does it melt?
Nick, if you could only have one
Not
cheese
really.
ever again, what cheese would it be?
What's the
She's
cheese?
American and Scottish, so I'm thinking, what's she going to pick?
This is gonna be good.
Be careful, mate.
Wensleydale. She picked Wensleydale.
Dang.
You can crumble it, and you can slice it, and it goes with sweet and savory.
I mean, that sounds like a baller choice then. It sounds like a jack of all I was going to say jack of all cheeses.
It's a jack of all
Jack
cheeses.
of all cheeses. Is good.
It's the
Cheese
jack of all
awful
cheeses.
They do like a peach Wensleydale and a cranberry Wensleydale here. Like you can buy just blocks of it, and it's really good.
Ooh, I
It's
just
apricot Wensleydale. Yeah.
what about goat cheese? Goat cheese is pretty amazing.
Goat cheese.
Yeah. 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 Man, I
Cheese
really
is
want
just
cheese now.
amazing.
Yeah, cheese is great.
I have to take pills when I eat cheese. It's so sad.
But it's worth it. It's like I
It's
have
so worth it.
I have like a minor lactose intolerance that like decides to kick in sometimes and sometimes not. I don't really know how to anticipate it, but like I have not slowed down my dairy consumption ever as a result of it. It's just like
Yeah.
bring it on. I don't care. I
Sometimes
demand
I can
it.
eat a whole pizza and it's like, yeah, fine. Next day I eat like a slice and it's like, oh, you are in full pain town now. It's like, oh well, thank you.
You are screwed.
You're screwed, y'all.
And now it is time to roll that beautiful bean footage. Get the episode off the ground as my ears can get murdered. Jesus.
What kind of beans are we talking about? No, I like it. The way
I can't hear a word you're saying right now. So deaf right now.
it's even better. Key lime sucks. Key lime sucks. Key lime sucks.
I can kind of hear that.
Lime sucks. Oh my god. You freaking liar. First of all, you don't like cheese, then you're lying. I find no reason to talk to you anymore. No, I'm kidding. Probably, maybe. Look at my black circle.
All I know is Panos is abusing this power of knowing that I can't hear anything right now.
You suck. You suck.
I'm, all I don't know what happened. All I know is that Panos was definitely abusing whatever powers he had while I couldn't hear. I just heard you talking, but I could barely hear what was actually going on.
My
but
powers are absolute.
But I know I was being insulted somehow. And Bill says that the sound is good.
Yay, hi Bill.
Oh no. And now that I'm looking at the chat box, I see that I have to adjust dimensions. I thought
Oh no. I'm now Halithos twice.
I was about to say, I thought I had a beautiful when I was testing it, but I needed to test with bigger names apparently. All right, I got you. I'm good now. Welcome everybody to the Curse of Strahd. My name is Keylime, and this is my merry crew of adventurers here to take on the Curse of Strahd. Welcome, welcome, welcome all. Or just welcome Bill. I don't know how many people are actually there, but Bill's at least here. And we stream exclusively for Bill. I don't know if he knows this, but like every other person that's ever shown up in chat, it's just us on alt accounts, just keeping Bill company. So like he feels like there's other people. It's just Bill. It's all for you, dude. We love you that much, man. But we are back, and the crew went through some pretty interesting stuff. If you caught the show live, you would know that they did things that I totally did not expect, and I named the episode something, and they did none of that. So we are straight up in Mystery Land at this point, but they've done some very cool things. Upon learning of the Festival of the Burning Sun, they've essentially pieced out, and they've decided to go talk to the Vestani at the camp just outside because they're trying to find some safety for Arena and Ismark, since they ran into the Baron's bodyguard Izek who seems to have a weird doll obsession with Arena herself. So they are looking for infos on where the heck Kresk is and is it safe, etc., etc., which led them to watching a child get beat a little bit in a tent and finding out that there was a missing child. They go find the child just to discover that they're in a sack being used as like a fishing lure, essentially, and save her, but not before Saya could explode this dude's head all over the lake. Like, I'm sure there's going to be chunks of head. I'm just going to like just mention that you notice little chunks of hair and like tufts of skin just like floating around as you walk around Barovia. It's just going to be there.
It's fine. He deserved it.
Exploded that hard. Just Strahd himself even got splattered.
Reminiscences of his old years when he used to see corpses like that every day. So he pretty much understands, like, this is the world, this is how nature works. The weak get annihilated by the stronger. So one point is like understanding that something happened.
I mean, no greater display of strength than literally popping the brain of your enemies. So the crew has rescued the child. They were able to get her before she drowned. And then that is where we left things. So crew, how are you guys feeling about your little rescue adventure in the water combat, water swimming, magical powers in the water? How was it all for you guys?
I mean, I feel pretty good. I popped the guy's head. Saya's mission is done here.
I think we did fine.
Happy that we saved the little girl.
Yeah. Like, how is she? I want to open the sack and like, see how she is.
We ripped open the sack as soon as we got out of the water.
I mean, how terrible would it have been if you didn't get there in time? That would have been some shit. Like, you get the sack up to the surface and it's just like a dead child. That would be par for the course as far as Barovia is concerned. But maybe there is light here in this land.
I mean, to be fair, they only asked us to get the kid back. They did not specify whether that kid had to be dead or alive.
Yeah. So,
how is she reacting? Is she afraid? Is she anxious? Is she happy?
She seemed
emotional state.
She seemed pretty disturbed. So I mean, we can just jump right on in. Let me turn off the happy vibes music for stream and turn on the sad time vibes, just so that way we know we're in the game. I should find more like different sad sounds. Like I kind of have like a mood that I play generally.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, I need some heavy metal. Just like running around like meow. It's going hard. All right, here we go. We are back at the lake. The girl Arabelle has been saved. I even put her token there now so you can see she has a pretty little hat. So
nice.
Yeah, that is quite the hat. But yes, you have ripped open the sack and you have discovered that she's inside, and she basically just immediately requested to be returned back to her family. Just kind of like scared of you.
What happened to you? Don't worry, you're safe now with us.
Well, I was just playing around, in the woods, and this man came. I go to the lake because it's nice here. It's not gross, disgusting like everything else in this world. And the man just came and took me away, just clubbed me over the head and put me in a sack. Next thing I knew, I was drowning. And then we're here.
He didn't say anything to you? Any reason he chose you specifically?
That drunkard probably would take anybody. Father's always telling me to stay away from the lake for just this reason.
So probably Saya did a good job splashing his guts all around the lake. I guess. Well, doesn't matter.
And she kind of like looks around, not even realizing that he's been exploded, and you can definitely see the body debris floating around on top of the lake.
Just his head, excuse me.
His entire body. It was like the head started and then the lower portion of him just erupted. Just went everywhere. But she, upon recognizing this, kind of like gives a sigh of relief. Like she doesn't show any signs of like terror at this, like, dead body giblets all over the place, almost as if she's been conditioned by these kinds of things.
So Saya's like, yes, I took care of him.
I see. And she's visibly calmer at this point. Who are all of you? I don't think I've seen anyone look like you before.
That would make. Go on.
Sorry. My name is Saya, and this is my friends Moonpoon and Augie. We are from outside Barovia.
Outside Barovia. And she kind of like gets quiet and looks at all of you. Right, well, please, let's go back to my family. I'm sure they're worried sick.
Before we leave, I want to search his pockets. I don't know if I did that last session. The pockets of the corpse, actually, to see if he has anything on him.
Yeah. So
Pockets of a corpse.
as you, so you're kind of like jumping on the other boat to rummage around over there.
I don't know that it's sanitary over there, but on you go.
Yeah. So
There is no COVID in Barovia. They don't give a fuck. No COVID there.
there's something worse than COVID around Barovia, but
Death.
upon searching the boat, you jump on, and aside from the red stains that are freshly laid all over the place, on the body you don't find anything of note. You find the wooden fishing rod that was being used with the line and the hook, and seemingly no bait, almost as if he was fishing with just a hook. You do not find anything else of value on the boat.
Something fishy going on.
Might be down in that water that he was hoping to feed.
Do you think, Orgits, do you think that there's something down there?
That's what I just said.
Actually, little girl, I don't remember your name.
Excuse me? Oh, you're talking to her.
Yeah, not you,
I
little
call
girl, the
her
other
girl
little
so
girl.
much.
Yeah, every
Actual little girl.
Yeah.
like size. You are all little to me. It's not a problem. It is what
Why
it
is
is.
that
Don't feel
little?
bad about it. Do you know anything about an urban legend about something that lives in this lake, like a big monster or a big fish? Have you heard of anything like that?
I haven't heard anything like that. It's just pretty here, that's all I know. The man that was fishing, Bluto, that was his name, just is known to be lunatic, just drinking all day and all night. Wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't any even fish in here. I think there's some that I've seen, but I've never seen him catch one.
I think we should just get this girl back. Didn't they offer us information in exchange for her safe return?
That's my curiosity,
Okay.
It might be more than meets the eye. That's
This
it.
place is just full of annoyances.
So, good.
But sorry. By the way, when me and Nogis were in the water, we didn't notice anything. Like a big fish or a big monster, we would have noticed something about it, right? But
I
we
mean-
didn't look actually. So
Yeah, I mean, when you guys did a perception of the general area, I think I made mention of there being like a couple stray fish floating around, but certainly nothing of note, like, treasure chests or like giant Loch Ness monsters or something like that.
could have been obvious, I think. Okay, let's go back.
All right. So back to the Vistani encampment. Let me go ahead and activate that scene, which exploded people's computers last time. Let's hope
Oh, fun times.
explosions are not there this time. Did this
Loading is a very long and strenuous process on my computer right now.
It takes a while on mine too.
interesting?
Might be browser.
There's a
It
lot
might
of
be.
tokens, to be fair.
It might be browser based. I'm using Mozilla Firefox that's not optimized for Foundry, as far as I know. It's Google Chrome that's optimized for Foundry.
Oh, maybe.
So that. Mhm.
Mine's
Give it a
stuck
sec.
at 99%.
Nice. Okay.
I
Give it
think
a
there's-
refresh.
Now that I'm looking, there's options to preload scenes. I wonder if that would make your lives better for future transitions like that. I'll look into that later.
Mine says I don't own a token with access or something.
Gonna
Okay,
reload.
mine is stuck at 99 as well. I'm
So with
refreshing.
mine, I'm gonna reload.
The scene just explodes computers. I don't understand.
There's a lot of tokens on that. The last time I was in, there were so many horse tokens.
Yeah,
I
there's
think that the
It's-
lighting as well.
it's a very simple map with a crap ton of token density. So it's maybe not playing well with others' browsers, unfortunately.
Mine's fine. I just
There we go. I'm in
for
now.
some reason it's not linking me to Augage, so I guess I'll try reloading too.
Can you see her at least or no?
No, I could before, but when we switched that map, I couldn't.
Lost her?
No.
Okay.
I'm reloading.
I can see
Well,
everything.
Augie's small. She's easily lost.
Makes sense.
So as you approach with Arabelle, the little girl, the dusk...
now.
Alright, cool. The Dusk Elf guard, you don't know they're Dusk Elves, I just said that out loud for no reason, but the
Elf guard.
the elfish people that you're unaware of their origin, sees you with the girl, and he just like sounds the alarm. All hail! Arabelle has returned! He doesn't say all hail, that sounds very formal and royal, but he's just like, Arabelle has returned! And he runs to her side. Are you hurt? Is everything okay? Yes, I'm fine. These people saved me. And you see the man, the father, Luvash, come running out. Arabelle, you had me worried sick. Get inside the tent. Explain yourself. Oh, Papa, there's just Bluto again on the lake. But these people, they saved me. And I don't think Bluto's going to be a problem anymore, considering he's spread all over the lake itself. Spread over the lake, you say? This was your doing, looking at all of you.
You know who this man was?
We know Bluto. He's the town idiot. He just goes out there, tempting to fish, for God knows why. Last time I saw him out there, he didn't even have anything to fish with. He just stood on his boat shouting at the water, praying to the Morning Lord that they would jump into the boat. He's just a fool. But apparently he's gotten even crazier. What did he want to do with Arabelle?
He tried to use her as bait.
Well then, rest assured, I'm happy to hear that the only bait in that lake now is the remains of his corpse. So thank you. And you see Aragel in the background, kind of just like twirling his mustache, just looking at all of you as this is being discussed.
Do you have any idea? I mean, he was a madman, as you say. But did he have any reason to use her for bait? Was he trying to catch something big? Or you have no idea what I'm talking about?
It's hard to say why he would even do such a thing, but trying to make sense of what Bluto does is a fool's errand. The man is just an idiot. There's nothing special about that lake that I know of.
Guess we
You
never
haven't
know.
heard any rumors of any lake monsters or anything?
Barovia is a strange place, but lake monsters would be a new one to me. Well, I couldn't thank you enough. I truly do owe you a debt, as much as it hurts me to say. Would you like a treasure from my wagon? And Aragel kind of like pokes up his head. A treasure from the wagon? You're going to give them something? Quiet you. They've earned it. Arabelle is safe. And that is all that matters. And he kind of,
Things.
yes, I can offer you these things. Please, if you will, I will take you to the wagon, and I will let you choose something.
Ooh.
And with this, he starts walking over. I have to open back up the thing to see exactly where that wagon is.
I want to whisper to Ogit, didn't we want to know some information? Or is my mind playing tricks on me? Didn't we want to ask them a question about safety?
We were talking about the village.
We were gonna ask them about Crest.
For Irina, An Ismark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
So he's gonna start walking to the wagon. Are you guys like giving chase or?
Yeah,
Just-
we'd follow. I would follow at least.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I'll follow tentatively. I probably won't take anything, but I know
Let's
that I wouldn't take that away from Saya and Moonpoon.
Go take a sneak peek.
Uh,
Find something useful.
So with this, Luvash walks out and starts heading in this direction. I'll just take you all there. Yoink.
Oh,
And you see him take out a couple keys from his pocket, and he puts them into the locks respectively. And you see a hard click in the second one, and opens a chest on this wagon. And he says, "Here, take something, one thing, and we will call the debt repaid."
Of us, one thing. It's three of us, so that means three things, right?
Mm, it's not nice of you to be leaning on the generosity of strangers. These things are valuable. Please, take a look.
and
Eh.
Saya would say, "What about one thing and some information about the village of Kresk?"
And he kind of like turns his head. Kresk, what do you want of Kresk?
Well, we wish to know how to get there.
That I can do. I can get you in touch with one of the Dusk Elves. They can tell you where to go. That's not a problem.
Okay, so one thing and that information, then I would consider the debt paid, wouldn't you, Moonpoon?
Of course. Sounds like a reasonable trade
All right.
for our services.
So as
We
he,
inspect it and see what they have.
yes, no, I'm just going to tell you to pick a number out of it. So
Oh.
he pulls,
Wild magic.
yeah,
Fireball.
he pulls back the curtain on the wagon, and inside you can see a bunch of different like chests and crates kind of sitting there. One is a wooden chest that's like opened at this point as he's kind of like, you know, displaying them all Vanna White style, where he's just like, inside here is a bunch of electrum pieces. And then he goes to another. This one has gold inside, gold pieces. You notice it appears about half as full as the one before. This one is a bunch of jewelry. And you see just various gold necklaces and then a bunch of like rings with inside, as well as a potion sitting right next to it. Over here is a throne, and it's literally a wooden throne with gold inlays all over it, with decorative stones kind of like placed inside. And some other finery. You see a rolled up 10-foot square rug with a exquisite unicorn motif kind of like woven into the fabric. And some potions. And you see a box with 12 potions sitting inside.
Potions might be useful.
Is the carpet a flying carpet?
By the way, Panos knows that electrum pieces are the more valuable ones, but I don't know if Moonpoon knows that. I think I want to take a look at the potions, can I, before we make a choice?
Yeah, what kind of potions are they?
So at mentioning the potions, he goes, on second thought, maybe you shouldn't take the potions. They're
Why?
not really for you. You I like. These potions are for those less deserving, let's say.
Maybe we can use it against them then, if you get my point. Maybe we can use it to exterminate them.
Well, yes, what kind of potions are they?
And he kind of like leans in close and he says, they're the types of potions we sell to idiots and tell them it helps them get out of here, but they do nothing. I like you enough to not give you these potions, so do well with the information.
Both potions.
Can we insight check him to make sure he's not lying?
Yeah, give me an insight if you want to roll.
I don't believe he's
Absolutely.
lying, but poisons.
Well,
I wish.
excuse me, but Saya is suspicious of everybody and everything.
Yeah, with the 19, your kind of like roguish nature recognizes like the nature of this man, and it appears as though he's definitely telling you the truth.
Yeah, so she's like, well, these potions seem useless. Let's not look at them. What about this carpet? Is it just a decorative item?
It is. Everything in here is essentially just forms of money. It's whether you want it as money or nicer things. Just comes down to personal taste, I would say.
So I would look at Mimpin and be like, what do you think? You know the surface better than I do.
In electron pieces are worth a lot. In this place, we cannot do a lot with a carpet or a throne, but maybe with coins we can exchange some information, or maybe more.
So we should take the electrum then.
I think it's the more viable.
And then I would look at Augie and be like, what do you think?
I didn't help save the girl for a reward.
Aw.
So
Well, no,
doesn't
but
matter to me.
It's all of us.
we are being rewarded, so you should
Yeah.
have some say in that reward. So what do
Of
you
course.
think?
You're a member of the party. You saved the girl as much as any of us.
Also, for what it's
Doesn't
worth,
matter to me.
Electrum is worth less than gold for what it's worth.
Really?
Yeah,
It's worth less than gold, but it's a more full chest. So it's like, is the bigger chest worth the less amount of gold? It's like,
You can do an investigation check
Yeah.
if he lets us.
could I do an investigation to see what I think would be the more valuable chest?
yeah, you can go ahead and give me that.
Investigation or insight?
Give me investigation. This is you essentially pulling on your history here to get a sense.
I like money.
Yeah, so as Sai's looking over the coins, you can see that they're almost like exactly equivalent. Like the amount of electrum versus the amount of gold relatively appears in ratio where it's like equivalently they cost about, or they're worth about the same. However, as you're looking at the coins, you do notice that the electrum pieces are stamped with Strahd's face on them, similar to the other currency that you've seen now here. However, the gold is just gold pieces.
So that means that he has his own currency, like
Really?
dollars.
I don't know what that says on what is more worth our time, like whether we should take the one that's like a Barovia currency or the gold, because the gold could be melted down into other things, I suppose.
Yeah, you
But
could
I
also
guess it
think of
doesn't.
like electrum pieces would almost certainly have no value outside of Barovia since they're
Yeah.
stamped with Strahd's head, but the gold pieces would definitely
Yeah,
have value
so-
outside. Whether they have value inside, very likely, but not necessarily guaranteed.
Saya would be inclined to take the gold rather than the electrum.
I trust you. You know money better than me.
The gold, then.
Yes, I would like the gold.
How
It is-
are we gonna carry that?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of encumbrance rules when it comes to
No.
currency, so I wouldn't worry about it.
We'll
you,
just split it between us, it's fine.
you have a magic sack of gold holding that holds infinite cash for zero
I love
penalty.
it.
The gold it is, and he slams the iron chest and he kind of like pushes it in your direction. All yours. Is that all then?
One last thing. before
No,
we leave.
we need to know how to get to Kresk.
Yes, I've assured you that one of my dusk elves will help you in that regard. I think I've done enough to repay this debt. I do
Yeah.
thank you, but I have no interest in furthering my dealings with you, if you understand.
Duly noted.
And with this, he kind of walks off.
Sorry, Bill. Sorry, Bill. We had no more options to ask questions. Next time. I tried.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you guys from like going back or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
But as Luvash walks away, the guard that you saw previously comes strolling around the corner. I've been informed that I must talk to you about Kresk, is this right?
Yes. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's a humble place, much smaller than Valaki, but they keep to themselves. There's a large church there, and I've heard some stories, but aside from that, it seems like a nice place, I guess. It's, due west of here. Follow some pathing, and, it won't be too far. You'll pass a lake, go through over a bridge, and it'll be right there.
I know nowhere in Barovia is actually safe, but on the relative safety scale, how would you rate it?
Krisk? I'd say it's pretty safe. Krisk is fine.
What about
It's-
compared to Valaki?
They both haven't really had any major incidents, so I'd say it should be okay.
I guess incidents happen here every day. It's daily occurrence, so major or minor, I guess stuff happened here regardless.
Yeah.
Like the thing that happened in the wine supplies. Do you have any idea about that?
And he kind of like averts his eyes and he says, "You know of the wine shortage too?"
Yes, we have heard about it.
Hmm.
I wonder if you have more information about what happened there, because we are trying to figure that out as well.
And he kind of like is looking around as he's saying this. It says, "Well, I admittedly have no idea. They wouldn't talk to me about it, but I have noticed that they seem to have gone through most of their wine very recently. Everyone got kind of messed up in the tent there, which is likely why Arabelle was able to get free. Everyone was just drunk, and now they're short in supply, and they're gonna be angry about it. But I don't know why. We haven't gotten our supply, and I've heard from others that supply seems to be drying up."
Well then, that's concerning.
But it doesn't give us anything more. Any clues? Nothing.
And for mechanical sake, I will help you get to Kresk now that you've heard this information.
Yeah.
Nice. That works
So-
out.
How far away is Kresk then, like from what he's told us?
You know what? I have a cool little travel map guidey thing that I'm going to use to tell you how exactly long it would take you to get there.
We're not going without Arena and Ismark.
No,
right?
but I just want to know how far it is away so that we can go back and tell them how
We
far it is.
also need a long rest at some point.
Well, like, I'm figuring that we take a long rest and we do the festival thing tomorrow and then we go out to Kresk.
We're gonna be at the festival.
Well,
Okay.
we need to long rest. Where else are we going to long rest? We
The
have an
woods.
inn, and I am not sleeping in the woods. Excuse me.
I've been sleeping in the woods all of my life. What are you talking about? The
Okay,
woods is the safest place to sleep.
I am not sleeping in the woods in Barovia. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough.
Not
Sounds
with
like
all
a
them
reasonable
like
demand.
big scratches on the trees and stuff, and I'm just like, nope.
We could have like one person staying awake, but
Well,
yes,
I
that
mean-
would take a lot of time.
No, I'd rather sleep in an inn, or well,
Okay.
meditate in an inn.
Okay.
Yes, I'd say Kresk is probably good 16 hours or so travel to the west.
Yeah. We need to sleep before we do that.
I need to replenish my powers. My magical powers have been diminished to almost nothing.
Yeah.
I will just say, there is a bunch of woods around. Do not go in them if you are wise. Not many people go into the woods and come out happy. Let's put it that way. So be careful.
Thank you for the advice and the help.
And with this, he kind of looks at all of you. Is that all then?
As far as I can think of,
Yes,
I
it-
think so. Yes.
Well, thank you for bringing Arabelle back. That will surely prevent poor Alexi from any more beatings. I will do what I can around here to keep the peace, but just know that these aren't necessarily your friends. I'm kind of shocked that you didn't get enslaved yourself. So count yourselves lucky.
Enslaved.
Us.
Yes, you. They're Vistoni after all.
I would like to see them try. The last person that tried to enslave me doesn't have any hands to enslave anybody anymore. Moonpoon is lying, but he's just trying to sound impressive.
Well, one day then I hope you'll come back and help us. But that is all I have. I must go. And he starts to turn to walk away.
Does that mean that he's enslaved as well? The elves are?
Could be. Or they could have strike like a deal with them to be like to work for them.
Yeah, feel free to stop him as he's walking away, by the way. You don't have to just let him stroll away and he's gone forever.
Hey, slave, come back. Are you a slave?
Oh, yes. Hi, hello.
Hey, slave boy. How's the slave life?
Mr. Slave?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Slave Boy.
He's just like, oh, yes.
Oh, God, a good slave.
You have more questions.
Are you and the
Go
other
on.
elves enslaved by these people?
And he kind of is nervous again and he gets closer. I wouldn't call it slaves, but we're certainly not here on our free will. There's a bit of history here, and, well, for better or worse, we are tied to these Vistani just as much as we are tied to these lands.
So it's something that you cannot get away from, not even if we help you.
What you see here is the only remaining of my kind. The Dusk Elves have been cursed here. There is no women. There's no children. There's just the men. Strahd saw to that.
We'll be back to
Oh.
save you after we kill Strahd.
Yeah, if Strahd gets away, everything would become simpler. That's our plan as well.
Right.
So if you wanna help with that, we might need everybody's help when the time comes.
I'm not sure what we could do here, but I do like the idea of you guys coming and saving us. But just know, everyone who's attempted to fight Strahd is not here anymore. So be careful. I need to go. They're going to wonder where I am.
Everybody wasn't us. Oh.
That sounds so badass. And you see him walk away like...
I'm gonna do a persuasion check to see like I'm very badass and see how badass I was really.
Okay.
Not bad.
Ooh, that dice rolled back in. And
Almost a two. Almost a two.
you see this like confidence go across his face. Well, you did find Arabelle, and I did hear of a popped man over a lake. That does sound pretty badass. I'll keep my eyes open for you, and I wish you well on your travels. And he again like kind of like rushedly walks away back to the other folks. Moonpoon successfully convinced the Dusk Elf Guard that you guys are badass.
It doesn't matter if you're a badass. It matters if others believe that you're a badass.
We are badass, but Saya's now like, you've promised an awful lot to these people.
It's just to give them hope, you know, not to give up. And they might be useful when we decide to fight Strahd. We might need any help we can get. We don't know what we are facing yet. I mean, we kind of know, but yeah, we don't really know.
I suppose you're right.
Sometimes I am.
Occasionally.
It's one of those days.
So back to Vallaki then, I suppose.
So is it nighttime yet? Is it?
So what time is it now? We left around midday, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely towards nighttime at this point. Like, let's just call it 7 to 8 p.m. ish.
Okay.
Sleepy times.
Home as in, so we can snooze.
All right, so back to Vallaki.
Yeah.
All right. Back to Vallaki with your sack of cash. Why can't I find the Vallaki map on there? It is. Yoink. That was much harder to find than I thought it would be. All right. So as you approach, let me just move your tokens back a little bit since you'd be on the other side of the gate. As you approach, you see the massive iron gate that you saw before with 2 guards there. These are seemingly different guards than you saw before. And as you approach, you just hear, "Halt! Who goes there? Who? Who is that? Identify yourselves!"
Who let the dogs out? I mean, yeah, it's us.
The heroes of
What are you-
Milwaukee, we have returned.
Heroes of Vallaki. He lets out this massive belly laugh and he turns to his friend and like nudges him with his elbow. Heroes of Vallaki, I don't even know who you are. What is your business here?
We're staying here at the inn.
Staying at the inn. And who is the proprietor of the inn that you're staying at? Heroes of Vallaki.
I'm supposed to remember their names.
Don't even know their names.
I do not know the names of the proprietors, but we have been speaking quite frequently with Father Lucian at the church. Let us in.
And hearing Father Lucian's name dropped like that, and he's like, He squints his eyes. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh no, please don't fail.
Do it.
Persuasion.
Charisma.
Oh, wow.
Golden.
He kind of like gives you this like very studying eye. All right. I'm sorry for giving you a hard time. Just not often we get strangers roaming around. And the gate starts to open again. You see them both like turning their cranks. And it opens, allowing you to enter.
Excellent.
Yoink. Into
Not used to this being the charismatic one.
persuasion game on point.
Oh man.
So are we beelining it to the inn, or are we stopping at the church or exploring
I would
around?
like to stop at the church to make sure that Irina and her brother are okay. Just let them know we're back and all.
Give them an update on the Kresk situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Swinging on into the church. You open the church doors, and you can see that it was almost as if a service had just let out. There's still a few people like roaming around inside the halls, and Father Lucian is kind of just like talking with various folks inside, but it is mostly empty at this point. Milovaj is kind of hanging in the background, cleaning up the altar. What will you do?
So we know where their room is.
Yeah, we know
right?
where they're
Yeah, you know where the room is.
We'll go see them. See if they're still there.
All right. So as you start walking down past the altars, you can again just see Kalanthos sitting there, kneeling,
We
just
miss you, Cal.
like still in that deep trance state where he's just completely ignoring all of his surroundings. It's the exact same pew that he was in last time you saw him, in the exact same position. Just
Is he dead?
I kind of want to
Isn't
go
he
over to his
tired?
ear and just be
What
like,
the hell is the deal with this guy? How can
I
he
say
stay
that.
in the same position for so long?
we know where
What's
the
his
handsome
problem?
man is. Come out of your trance.
and even at this enticing attempt to break his trance state, you again just kind of see him just chanting, like mumbling under his breath and giving no
Maybe
mind to
here.
anyone around.
A few days
Try
later,
your
I
best.
snap out like, what the handsome
try.
man? Where are we going?
They tried your best.
I'm kind of glad he wasn't with us, though, to be fair.
Yeah. I
That
was like,
would've
oh
been-
man, it would just be all on fire. Like,
And with this, then you can walk past. And as you get past, Father Lucian kind of gives you guys like a knowing glance and a nod as he's continuing to talk with his constituents. And you turn the corner And you can see that Arena and Ismark's door is closed.
Should
Knock on the door.
What kind of?
Give them a secret knock.
I was gonna say, what kind of knock you guys doing? Rego knock, doing the secret door knock special that you worked out at the other house.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So
Yeah,
that
we'll do
knock-
that special knock.
So with this, Augie like cracks her knuckles, gets ready, and like pulls from memory, does the little rapidy tap tap on the door.
Tap, tap, tap.
Do you wait for them to open, or do you just burst in at this point?
It's probably, in case they're in like their pajamas or something. Maybe they want to put a robe on.
In case they're not looking cordial or presentable. It's very nice of you.
That's okay.
So with this, you can kind of like, you hear something shuffle up to the door, and you hear Ismark's voice. And who's there?
It's us. What do you mean who's that?
A special knock and everything.
I can't
you
believe,
remember?
I can't believe you still remember that. And he, you hear like a clink, clink, clink.
August is a genius. She remembers everything.
And
There's
the
a little voice in my head that really.
and with this, the door opens, and you can see Arena just kind of like sitting, down on the bedside, like with her like elbows on her knees and her like head in her hands, and says, "What news? Where have you been?"
Well, we went to visit the Vistani, and we wanted to find out a little bit about Kresk. There's no indication that it's necessarily any more safe than Balaki, but we were told it's safe-ish. So if you still insist on leaving Balaki, we could give that a shot.
Well, we do know there's a madman here who's got, what'd you say, dolls of me? All over the place?
He seems kind of obsessed with you.
Yeah.
Also, we blew up a guy's head and we saved the child.
Is that necessary?
I like how you said we when it was clearly I that did it.
Yeah, she is that cool. I never saw a thing like that in my life. I never saw that as well, but I saw what remained of it.
And
It was pretty
I
awesome.
don't know what happened. His head just spontaneously exploded. It was very
Yeah.
strange.
And you see
Very
Ismark kind of
sensitive.
give this like wry smile, and he's like, "That sounds kind of badass."
Yes, it was badass.
Damn. Okay. Well, I don't know why you did all of that, but it sounds like you got some information from Kresk. Arena, what do you think? And with this, she just kind of, again, just looks distraught. Like she's kind of like, nervously shaking her legs as she's talking. I don't feel safe here. That's all I know. If Kresk is safe-ish, then maybe that's good enough for me.
I mean, it seems further away from the castle, which doesn't seem to be a bad thing. I was surprised that Valaki was so close to the castle, quite honestly.
Whether you're far or you're close to Castle Ravenloft, you're always within reach of Strahd. Distance doesn't matter. Just seems to matter if he cares enough to get you or not. For whatever reason, we seem to be averting his gaze.
Do you know why he's after you?
I don't know why Strahd is after me. But between Strahd and now this guy, I don't feel good here at all. And I will admit, seeing the castle as close as it wasn't doing my mental health any good. Being further away would just be comforting, even if it means nothing.
That's the plan. But we need to rest a little bit first. We haven't had the rest. And we fought 6 vampires. I need to replenish my magic powers, else I will be useless to you.
I just wish we knew why he was after you so relentlessly. Would help
Maybe.
us keep you safe.
Maybe there is some information in his place, but that would be too risky, right?
I mean, even as infiltration specialist, I
Yeah.
think that would be a bit too much even for me.
I can't figure out a better way to learn, though. Either that, or we get him by the neck and we ask him the question directly. But that doesn't seem a great idea either.
Perhaps we rest and then we get Irina and her brother to Kresk. And perhaps we find more information along the way. There seems to be many mysteries in this land.
This land is only mysteries.
Very true.
Okay. Well then, it sounds settled. We'll make for Kresk. And speaking of, so your plan is to just beeline it to the inn and then at daybreak basically just beeline it to Kresk?
Or are we gonna, what are we gonna do about the festival?
I feel like just beelining it out of the city is going to be super sus.
I mean, they don't even know who we are. The gods didn't know who we are.
But when we tried to leave the last time, they questioned us a bunch, and I had to be all like, "Oh, we have friends," and the other people, and they were like, "Oh, well, do you have friends?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." So I had to be like, I had to persuade in and out. They don't want people in or out. So if we go out, that's it. We're not back.
Just for so the main reason that they were concerned about you leaving was more that you mentioned dealings with Vistani. So like the guards were kind of like at ease until you mentioned you were dealing with Vistani, and that's when they kind of like perked up.
Yeah.
So it's possible they might let you leave without incident, assuming you're not mentioning like weird dealings with strangers.
Possible. Like, I don't like Saya. I know that. Saya doesn't necessarily know that.
Mm-hmm.
Saya is like, these guys have been assholes whether they've been trying to come in or out of the city. They're just assholes. So she's not sure.
Okay. But it sounds like the inn for the night is the plan.
And for the night, yes. But what we do
For
after
sure.
that is up for
Up in
debate.
there.
All
I
right.
missed the festival. I gotta like see at least.
I kind of want to
Okay.
see the festival too. Like this.
I do not.
I don't imagine it's going to be a fun time, but it could be an interesting time.
Well, if it's like Wickerman, there's one of our. I've been reading over our tarot cards, and like one of them says.
Uh-oh. What does it say?
I was thinking about the one with the sword of sunlight. There's a card of power and strength that tells the weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. Look for a fortress inside a fortress in a place hidden behind fire.
Ooh.
But I don't know.
I
if
don't
that has
know.
anything to do with the festival or not. But I mean, it's the sword of sunlight. It's and it's the festival of the burning sun. So.
Yeah. And Saya's just concerned that if we just like nope out of town first thing in the morning, that's going to look really suspicious if there's a festival going
Well,
on.
and also there's going to be lots of people everywhere. They would
Yeah.
see.
They're gonna be like preoccupied with the festivals. They're not gonna pay attention to us.
The guards
I vote for the festival.
So I vote we stay overnight and we stay for like the morning festival shit and then try to just kind of sneak away.
I guess this is a democracy of some sort, so I'll go along with your request.
I mean, Moonpoon, if you want to leave without us, you're more than
No.
welcome. But that's...
I don't want to stay in this place, especially by myself.
So
I'm gonna follow along.
well, we're definitely going back to the inn for the night because you guys need to get your spell slots and shit back.
Yes.
Sleepy times.
Yep.
Times.
Keep times.
All right. So I'm going to have you all swing on over to the inn. Real quick, everyone give me a perception check.
I don't like that.
Wow. Wait, is that an actual 20?
It was an actual 20. It was just because it rolls disadvantage because it's always a disadvantage for me. But it was a 23.
Interesting.
Why is it always a disadvantage for you?
Because as a dark elf, I have disadvantage in any like light situations, but it's always twilight and Barovia, so it's not actually.
It's dim light, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a 20.
Okay. So Yeah, as you're all like walking back into town and like walking over to the inn, Saya kind of like has been a little bit more wary and aware. And people are kind of like walking about, but there does seem to be like a man off in the distance that's more or less been tailing you.
Can I split off and find him?
Is it a guard? Like, is the guard like attire that he's wearing, or is he like incognito wearing robes or something?
So Saya would recognize that this man does not seem dressed like a guard that you've seen before. It just appears to be like a man in common clothing, just off in the distance.
Have I seen him before at all?
You do not believe you've seen this man before.
Well, I would like to go find this man.
He's kind of like very off in the distance. Like if you are at the inn, he's maybe like 6 to 7 houses away, just like peering at you behind like a little wall. But you've noticed he's kind of like been inching along just behind you guys.
So where is he in relation to where the inn is?
So he would be I should probably show the people on the stream where that would be. So like if you guys are up at the inn, which is that red building there, like you would almost see him at the end of like this street down here. So I mean he's like very, very far away, but he has been like noticeably keeping that distance from you about the entire time.
Does the inn have a back exit?
I don't believe you guys have discovered any back exits. Not to say it might not have one, but
even if he did, he would probably know about that. If he's in town, that means it's a person that knows the ins and outs of the town.
Well, so
And
I
probably
would
most of the buildings.
like tap you both and be like, "We're being followed.
Oh, what?
There is a man." So I would like, "Don't look," but there is a man that's been following us. I can tell he's there. But I would like to go try and confront him, but he's following us, so it's hard to shake him.
The thing is, if we drag him back to Irina and Ismark, that's what they want, right? So we can't.
I just want you guys to cause a distraction so that I can circle around behind him.
Okay.
Ooh, what should we do, Moonpoon?
Let's make out
Oh, well,
in
that
the
would
middle of the street.
be very distracting.
Yeah.
Like it has to be loud and like
Okay.
everyone has to believe it so that I can.
So lots of slurping noises.
Like,
Yeah.
Moonpoon, I have always loved you.
You're gonna be Saya's gonna be my wife, and you're gonna be my secret lover that I cheat on you with orchids.
And then I'm gonna like. As
Wait,
you...
she doesn't want attention drawn to herself.
No, not to
though.
me. Just shoot
Yeah.
you, and then I'm gonna scooch.
So I'm gonna have orchids slap me and tell me that I have been an unfaithful husband and I'm
That's
cheating on with someone else, with a man, or with calientas.
Yeah, kill us!
All right. So August will slap Moonpoon across the face.
How dare you!
Dare you! You have been an unfaithful lover.
No,
You
it's
have
not
been
what you
cheating
think
on
of.
me with Calyptus. I heard you talking about being the big
Don't
spoon.
believe the lies.
I cannot believe that you would do this to me.
It was literally a big spoon. Do you see my hands, woman? Do you see my fingers? I need a big spoon to eat. Don't listen to those foul tongues that try to disturb our love. They try to come between us because they are jealous of our love. This man, Calientas, she's so jealous of the true love that we have with each other. So he's trying to take you away from me. Trust
How
me.
can I believe you?
Don't believe me. Believe the love we have shared over so many years, the experience we had.
And so like as you guys are doing this, Saya, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna just sort of slip away, like
Yeah.
like away from their drama, and I'm going to cast invisibility because I have that, and I'm going to try and come up behind the guy that is following us.
So as you as they're making a scene, is your plan to go like direct path to him? Or are you kind of like wrapping around?
wrapping around, so I like get into a position where I would be out of sight from the person's direct line of sight and cast invisibility at that point. And then I just sort of walk towards them as much as I can, like quickly, because I'm invisible. It's nobody can see me.
Okay. Do you have eyesight of him as you're approaching or no? Like, do you are you going around him in a way where you wouldn't see him for a bit, or would you
I try and keep him in sight the whole time?
Okay. So yeah, the scene that Moonpoon and Augage are causing, you can see like random townsfolk that are out and about, just kind of like looking at all of you, just getting confused, just like concerned almost. Even a guard walks up to you and says, "Hey, knock it off. Calm down. It's late. People are trying to sleep."
If maybe there is a problem here with my love. You don't understand the words of passion and love.
And
You don't have a heart, you foul being.
And he looks you guys both up and down and he says, "Love, how does that work?" Like looking at your relative sizes. And he's just like,
You see those manly tears, and I'm trying to cry like really hard. I'm trying to produce tears. Do you see those manly tears? This is how love works.
I'll really
You
stealthily,
empty
like,
cell of a man.
pinch him on his leg to make him cry.
Ah, I imitate that I'm hurt. Ah.
The guard just again like shakes his head and he's like, "Guys are straight up crazy. Just relax. Just go your separate ways. Deal with this in the morning."
I love it.
I prefer to die. I go to a separate way. Then, my dear, come, join me. Let's get away from this foul place. Come in my arms.
I'll
Don't let
jump as high as I can.
I'll grab her the moment she jumps as high as she can to take her in my arms.
Moon.
Oh, yes. I know you would come back to me. Please believe me.
So both of you give me persuade or performance checks.
Oh my god.
Let's see how convincing this was.
Wrong couple.
Okay.
Okay. Moonpoon played his part well. Augage.
Okay.
It's above persuasion.
I had a natural one, but luckily I get to re-roll mine.
Oh my god.
Okay.
How many times a day can you do that reroll thing, anything? That's a
It's
what?
D&D Beyond does it automatically. I think it's not
racial
the
thing.
luck feat, it's a racial thing.
God damn.
Any skill check or charisma based skill checks?
Yeah.
Any-
Yeah, it's the lucky feat. So whenever you roll a 1 for an attack, ability check, or saving throw, you can re-roll that die.
What a lovely ability.
Just
But I can only
Wow.
re-roll it once. I have to take whatever that. So if I roll
Right.
a 1 twice in a row, I still
Then the
have to have
second,
it.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
still good.
yeah, that's really nice. Lucky feat is OP. So yeah, it is very convincing as far as everyone can tell. But as Saya is approaching this person that you were kind of like investigating, you see him kind of like at this little explosion of a scene. He's just kind of like looking around confused, and then he's like darting his eyes all over the place, and he's starting to appear like nervous. Like the longer this is going on, like the less, like the more hesitant he's appearing standing there.
Is
And
he
you
human?
yes, he's human.
So I would like to just like slide behind him
Okay.
and say into his ear, "Why are you following us?"
And with this, he just like literally like lets out a yelp and falls backwards onto the ground, and you see him scanning all over the place. Just what?
Why are you following us?
And he's again just like scanning all over the place. Who's? Is it that-
You won't see me. Why are you following us?
The Dark One, it must be. Clever. Nice. Good trick. I'm here to observe what you're doing in Vallaki. What are you doing here? Is the question.
Right now, I'm asking why you're following us.
I
Who
don't.
is the Dark One?
No, that's you, I think. I noticed that You went missing when your friends threw on this little performance. Interesting. I saw no indication that they were lovers, but then again, I don't know what you're doing behind closed doors. Guess it's possible they were love-making and fighting, but I think that was a clever ruse. I'll give you credit. You're nimble.
You were following me specifically.
I'm not at your mercy to just say whatever you want me to say. But know this, if your intent is to harm me, things will not go well for you. So I beg of you to mind your business.
I have no intent to harm you with witnesses around.
Well, that's good then. And he kind of stands up and brushes himself off, and he turns to start walking away.
Wait,
Hmm?
why were you following me?
That's my business. You have yours and I have mine.
Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, you seem to be doing all I need you to do, which is minding your business. So you leave me alone, I leave you alone. Sounds good to me.
If I see you again, I like exploding heads.
And he's like looking you up and down, and he can see like speckles of
He can't
the.
see me. He can't
Oh,
see
that's
me.
true.
I'm still invisible.
He observes the empty space in front of him. Yes, I can tell.
What is your name?
Not important. And again, he just turns to walk away.
That's a fancy name. Not important, the surname. That's a fancy name.
Saya's not about to get caught murdering a guy in the middle of the street, because that seems like poor show for people who are good aligned, because that's like people. So she will move back towards her companions.
All right. Back to the inn.
And she will dispel her invisibility spell.
And some of the commoners that were watching this Moonpoon and Augage fiasco kind of like gasp at the sight of someone just like poofing right in front of them.
This is what
I'm your
we
fairy
do.
godmother. What do you expect?
This is what we do. We poof and unpoof every day. This is our life, poofing.
We should go into
Moving in life.
our rooms.
Yeah,
We should talk before we separate, though.
Okay.
All right, so into the inn. Do. Let me activate this scene.
Let me
And-
entertain you.
Making sure that you guys can't see things that you're not supposed to see.
I would
Another
imagine that in
scheme.
future, if I see this guy, I'll recognize him.
If he doesn't change his appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could feel pretty comfortable like that you would recognize him again if
Good.
you saw him. Oh no, this map is
Does he have
doing
any,
sorry, go ahead.
have any distinctive characteristics, something?
No, nothing like jumped out at you as uncharacteristic or overly.
Common
You just
guy.
described him as like generic human, so I assume he's very generic human.
Almost seems like a ruse, like a costume, like
But he also seemed like he
Kind
said
of
he was following me
transformation.
specifically, so I'm like, just like, what did I do? Why me?
no, it's following
I'm
all of us.
I'm innocent little Saya. I've never done anything wrong in my life.
Following
Yeah.
all of us.
Totally
I
believed
think
it.
No,
we
certainly
might need to
haven't burned down
restart.
any buildings in my life.
I think we might need to restart again. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I need to restart. Give me a
Jesus.
second.
It might be
Oh,
related
yes.
to all this like fog of war adjustment nonsense I'm doing. It doesn't seem
Yeah,
to.
it's like it keeps getting stuck at like 99% on my
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Every time as well.
Yeah, I'm guessing
As
it's
you
related.
need.
But you can see that you've arrived at the inn.
So I say to them, very good performance. That was top notch.
Yeah,
Thank
Og
you.
is great at that. She is an influence to me. I have very much fun time doing that.
So I
learn so many stuff from you guys.
Don't fall in love with me, Moonpoon.
I have something
Too
to
late.
confess. He wasn't following us. He was following me.
What? Why?
I don't know. He wouldn't tell me.
How could he get away without
I felt
telling
like
why?
stabbing him in the middle of the street was probably going to draw too much attention, so I let him go.
Why didn't you grab him and got him? Like, we could have interrogated him.
No, well, the invisibility magic, if I grab somebody or attack somebody, it falls apart, so then I'm seen, so it's,
I see. That sucks. Okay.
Totally not badass, but okay.
It's halfway there. Halfway there.
He seemed very interested in me, but he wouldn't tell me his name, wouldn't tell me who sent him. But I assumed for some reason it was Strahd, because what else happens in Barovia that Strahd doesn't know about or conceive of?
I mean, if Strahd has taken an interest in us, I don't think we would be alive right now.
Well, he clearly already has taken an interest in us. Do you not remember him coming to see us outside of the murder house?
Proper name.
I mean, I probably mean that if you wanted us dead, we would have been dead. There's something else.
No, I feel like we are his entertainment, and I don't like it.
We'll play our part, and if he feels comfortable, all the better for us. He will not see what's coming for him. When the time comes, we will get our revenge. Trust me.
So as you guys approach the inn, again, you can just see both, and their names are Erwin and Danica, behind the bar, just kind of like tending to a few customers that are around. Are you guys planning on just bum rushing up to sleep or chit-chatting?
I would like to ask them about the guy that was following me, if they'd recognize him if I describe his appearance.
Sure. So feel free.
I'm gonna scooch in. What?
Oh, if it isn't my favorite people. Find anything about our wine yet?
Not yet. We are intending on investigating it, but we've had a very busy day. We've had many things to do. I did have a question. There was a man following me today, and he wouldn't give me his name. I wonder if you might know who he was.
A man following you?
Yes. I mean, I know there's not many dark elves in this place. I haven't seen many, but I wouldn't think that's enough excuse to be just following a woman around town. It seems creepy.
And then she like leans in close and says, there's watchers everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Strahd spy or maybe even someone from within this village. Someone of import, possibly the Baron or Lady Vakta, perhaps?
Is that the Baron's wife?
Ah, you don't know of Lady Vakta?
No.
The word around town is that she has occultists going to her house, and she doesn't seem to be a fan of the burgomaster. So, it could be one of them. How is the man dressed? And you describe how he was dressed. It's hard to say, but he could have been one of Lady Vakta's. Given someone creeping around town, it's not common for Strahd spies to be within the walls, but I would keep your wits about you.
Who is Lady Vakta? Like, what is her involvement with the town?
Well, she's a powerful woman, that's for sure. She's built up a following of people in town. People seem to religiously go to her place just as frequently as others do to Father Lucian. What they're doing in there, I don't know. I do know that some of the cultists come out and come here to get drunk, talk about their various potions and rituals and whatever nonsense. It sounds like just that to me. Bunch of nonsense.
Where would we find her?
Oh, she is just in town, and I believe Keelim can find it quickly enough on the map that he could tell you.
Nice. Killam has the master dexterity skills.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that?
just somewhere in town.
Above the ball sack or below the ball sack?
Yeah, let me find. Yes. Here it is.
Oh, the ball sack.
I remember now. It
The
is
ball sack.
just around the corner, down the street to the north. That is where you could find Wakta House.
We need to get some rest today, though. We shouldn't prolong our rest.
No,
It's
but
already being late.
it was it was good to get the information. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, dear. But you guys have been kind of mulling about town. Are you sure you're gonna get to this wine thing?
We are. We heard there's a festival tomorrow, and we have friends in town we were going to spend some time with. And then we are going to go look into the wine scenario, I suppose. And I'd look at you two to like confirm what I'm saying.
Yes. I nod my head
every
without.
intention to. We just on our way to go look into it today. We got
Sidetracked. Yeah.
Mhm.
It happens.
Don't worry.
happens.
We are your people. We are going to find out what's going on with this wine.
I pray.
Trust the little girl. She knows.
I'm a little girl.
Yeah. Trust the little girl.
I pray you don't take too
Punch him in
long.
the balls.
Oh.
Word of the wine shortage is getting around, so anything you can do to expedite would be much appreciated.
Need some rest before we do that. We've had a very difficult and very long day.
We died a couple times almost.
I didn't.
All right. So then up to the rooms.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have 1 room, 2 rooms, 3 rooms, 0 rooms?
You and Cal are sharing a room, which means you're by yourself today.
Nice. I can fart all I want tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I can fart till I make a cloud of fart.
Because I don't sleep, I just meditate, so I can just chill on the floor. I'm fine.
So I will drag you all up to your respective rooms upstairs.
I'll make as much fart as half orc is possible.
That's a lot of fart.
Oh, a lot, yeah.
Mhm.
So the crew goes to their respective rooms, click out the lights, because there's electricity here apparently, and
Why
go
not?
to sleep. And that will be where we leave things for tonight's episode of The Curse of Strahd.
Be careful. I'm expecting a dream sequence for orchids. Be careful. I was expecting it today, but we'll have it due to next time.
Yes, tomorrow should be a very interesting day for the crew, considering there's a festival going on. You guys are about to take off on a little journey to another town, potentially. You got some dude randomly following you. You learned of some person named Lady Voctor, who apparently has cultists. Things are still sketch in Vallaki, so yeah, I'm curious to see where the crew ends up deciding to go or do tomorrow, as far as the days are concerned. It should be a good time.
So drum roll, next episode could be named The Festival.
well, no matter what, unless we spend the entire episode in the rooms role-playing, the festival is going to be happening at some point.
And we're up to number 2, and I'm sure we would spend the whole time.
Yeah.
2 hours we'll spend inside the room, guys.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it.
Amazing. Well, thank you all for joining us yet again. We will see you next week on The Curse of Strahd. Love you guys. We will see you on Friday. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Huge ass kiss. Good night.